Okay, so I'm at the fairgrounds in Perth, Ontario, Canada. A couple of bags here. A brand. Oh, there we go. You can see they pretty much got everything taken down. The midway's gone. All right, let's get the cans loaded up here. As easy as we can then. Put some water in there. Okay, the fair's all over, of course. And looks like they've already taken the garbage cans away. But there's a feed bag or something over here. It's probably full of containers. It's probably full of alcohol containers, I'll bet you. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. How did I know that? They make money as long as you get here on time. That's the key to the whole thing. To watch I don't step in the poop. I'll take that over and put it in the garbage. There we go. Oh, they've removed all the garbage cans. Oftentimes there's a bunch of alcohol containers in the barn. So we'll just have a look and see if there is or not. There's tarpaulin. It's actually kind of a nice tarpaulin. Somebody will be coming back for that though, I'm sure. If I thought it was garbage, I'd take it with me, but I'm sure somebody's coming back for that. There's still some cleanup that has to be done around here. There we go. Oh, there we go. I don't really want to carry this bottle around with me forever, so I guess I'll just toss it there. There. this way. It's a can, but it's a Pepsi can, so we'll leave it. Yeah, and this is what we do. All right, we go around the other side of the barn. Looks like there's a big pile of stuff there because they took the garbage cans away too soon. So they're just piling their garbage up. So we'll just look and see. Clamato. Yeah, Clamato. That's got alcohol in it. They put it all in one handy spot anyway. Funny. You can see here. Yeah, nasty. Yeah, 5.5% alcohol. That qualifies. That one's nearly full. You don't really want that. Just looking to make sure there isn't a U.S. government label on it or anything. Some of them have a U.S. government warning label, so you have to be aware of that. Coors, the Silver Bullet, reminds me of there was a young couple that lived across the hall from me when I lived above the Royal Bank. They lived in Perth. They lived across the hall from me for about a year, I guess. And they'd fight all the time. She was the daughter of an OPP, and it turns out he was a police informant. There were a lot of rats around Perth, a lot of people that were informing on people and stuff. And anyway, so he had a license to do as he pleased in town. These informants always do have that, you know. They're allowed to abuse people and stuff. Anyway, it ended up that I'm making money out of this, I'll tell you. It ended up anyway that the last big fight that they had, oh, this one's nearly full. There we go, we dumped that out. The last big fight that they had before they broke up, and then the guy moved in underneath me, because the apartment under me became available, so he moved in there, and she moved out of the building completely. That was fun, having him underneath me, partying until 3 and 4 in the morning every night, and throwing the furniture out the windows and throwing beer bottles out the windows of passing cars and stuff. We'll just take all this here and put it in the box. Make it a little easier for whoever has to clean that up. There we go. Anyway, it wound up that the last big fight they had, though, was him screaming at her at the top of his lungs, "You drank my silver bullet. I hate you, you effing bitch. You drank my silver bullet." This is what I could hear anyway. And this was because I guess she drank his he had a beer in the fridge. It must have been a Coors, because he called it a silver bullet. And she had drank it on him. So he was in there roaring at her about how she drank his silver bullet. Anyway, Pepsi can. So yeah, then when they were underneath me, well, when he moved in underneath me, of course he partied every night of the week. He used to park down on the street in the handicap spot. He had no permit to park there, but he used to park there. And he'd park there all day and he'd never get a ticket. And the commissionaires in Perth were pretty efficient. They'd ticket you very quickly. Anyway, but they never ticketed him. And I found out later he was an informant anyway, so he had a license to do as he pleased. But there was one night they actually made some homemade bomb and they blew up their couch. They actually blew the couch up. It was pretty wild. And you could hear them down there doing the countdown. And then, counting down to blowing up the couch. All right, let's have a look and see here. I don't want to make a mess, but I need to look and see. Don't look like there's anything in there. All right. Anyway, it ended up that they blew up the couch. And I didn't know what it was at first. I just heard them counting down, 3, 2, 1. And then there was just a boom. And the whole building shook. And anyway, the next day, the same day really, just a few hours later, that was around 3 o'clock in the morning, they blew up the couch. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, I could hear a commotion outside. They were dragging the couch down the fire escape, and it was blown apart. It was actually flat. Like the back of it and the two sides of it were flat, and stuff. And you could see it was even singed. That you could see where it had been on fire. And they brought it downstairs, and they threw it into a pickup truck. And the pickup truck didn't belong to any of them. It was just a pickup truck that was parked on the street. They threw it into somebody's pickup truck, so it'd be their problem to get rid of it, I guess. And when they threw it in there, one of the assholes, he says, "Moving out." He says like that, moving out. Anyway, they were quite a bunch. They would throw beer bottles out the windows at passing cars and all kinds of stuff. The worst bunch of assholes, Now this is where the carnies camp, back in here. So I may find some alcohol containers. We'll see. These are their porta-johns. Nothing in there. Nothing I'd want to take home anyway. If you know what I mean. All right. Let me see now. Yeah. Anyway, I was pretty happy to see them go. When he was with his girlfriend, they used to party all the time too. And the elderly woman underneath them there, Tula, she complained because she'd been without sleep for weeks. And then he started making death threats against her. And one night they came and they damaged her door. He tried to kick in her door. And he did do some damage to the frame of the door and whatnot. Didn't actually succeed in kicking it in. Scared her half to death and did do some damage. So she called the police on him. And the police came up and they said, "Oh, well, what can you do?" They weren't interested. So, yeah. But one of my neighbors complained about them partying all the time because he was a shift worker and it was keeping him awake. He was unable to, this one's locked. I wonder what happened that that one got locked. They got a padlock on it. Alright. Anyway, yeah. So it ended up that he complained And then that guy and his friends started making threats against them, against my neighbor. And he was a fairly big guy, and he knew how to fight. And he could have taken care of himself if it had come down to it. But he had a friend who was with the OPP, and he asked his friend about them. And he said, no, if these guys come at me and I do something to them, what will happen to me? And the OPP, his friend on the OPP told him, you need to move. Because he said, these guys are protected, they're informants and they're protected. And like that guy that's living there, he's an informant and he's protected. And so what'll happen is you'll be the one that goes to jail if there's a physical confrontation. So we told him, you need to move. And that's what he did. He moved out of the building wherever, didn't get into a fight with them, and then end up in jail over it. It's pretty wild. Anyway, let's go up around here and see what we can find. I'm going to shut this video down now. It's 16 minutes long already, and I'll start another one. Bye for now.